Hi-ho, folks, and welcome back to the adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage. Well, hi, Turwinkle.
Hello.
Are you all set for tonight?
Sure.
Well, great, because tonight we're going to be talking with the Zingara Caravan, a wonderful Horde guild. And so without further ado, we're going to have
No.
Turwinkle. We've already gone over this. We're just going to have you put on your disguise again, and then we will...
I don't think so.
Turwinkle. Well, folks, we will be right back as Turwinkle has on his undead mage disguise, and he's going to interview this wonderful, wonderful Horde-side guild. So we'll be right back with that disguise on and ready to go. Alrighty, folks, and so we have made it, as you can see, here in Oldham, and we have found the Zingara Caravan here in this lovely camp. And so let us walk up and see this fine group that has assembled here, and they look like a wonderful group. And so right off the bat, let us see the guild leader, who is Zelena the Seeker, and is Zelena Zingara of the Zingara Caravan, a level 90 Blood Elf Hunter. Hello.
Hello, and welcome to the caravan.
Well, thank you very much. It's so nice of you folks to take the time tonight to talk with us and let us know all about your wonderful guild here.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit about the caravan.
Excellent. And so let us meet some of your officers here. And if you want to go ahead and introduce, I guess starting with Fidget and moving to the right there.
Fix-It Dice Pose is Zelena's second in command. He is the PR rep for the caravan. He's our numbers guy. He's our accountant, and he is always wheeling and dealing and keeping us flush as we travel from place to place. He is also the ringmaster for our Brawlers Balls that we hold on a monthly basis.
Oh, wonderful.
Right beside him is Jinky's Jingle Bang Nice Pose. She is a trusted of the Zingara Caravan. She's a level 90 Goblin Hunter, and she, as I said, is Fix-It's wife and one of Zelena's best friends.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Moving on is I get yelled at if I don't pronounce the name properly. Niklas. Niklas, the puppeteer, is a trusted of the Zingara Caravan, level 90 Blood Elf Rogue. And Nick and Zelena have a very long history together, and they are kind of renewing their friendship and their relationship from days of the past.
Okay.
And last but not least is Cenarius Bloodmist, who is also trusted of the caravan. He is a level 90 Blood Elf warrior, and he and Zelena have also known each other for quite some time. We call him the talking wall. He's very silent and observes the situation. He's also a voice of reason in times of stress for the caravan. So he tends to be a peacemaker and is a diplomat, and is well liked by everyone.
Well, wonderful. And so these are all your officers, is that correct?
Yes, we have Thargrim, who is also an officer. He unfortunately could not be here with us tonight, but he is an orc who has been with Zal for a very, very long time. He also tends to be kind of very calm and soothing. He enjoys his brawling, but he's just kind of a warm personality that people enjoy being around. And we are recently in the process of promoting one of our members, Zarl, who we call the Fetcher, to a position of trusted, which will give him more influence, of course, over the activities of the group on the whole. So.
Oh, great. So, folks, when we come back, we are going to go ahead and meet the rest of the members that she has brought with her tonight. So we'll be right back with that. And we are back. And so we have the members have taken a step forward, and so we're going to meet all these fine folks that have come to support the guild that they're in. So let's go ahead and meet these fine folks. So go ahead and start with the first one there, sir.
All right, in front of us we have Kitan's Steam Switch.
She is an adventurer of the Zingara Caravan, and she is the caravan chef. She has come in and helped a lot with baking and keeping morale up.
Oh, awesome.
And to her right, we have Alexia Freeborn. She's a thief and firebrand, an adventurer of the Zingara Caravan. Her nickname is Illy. She is a ranger, not a ranger by lore, but just a woman with a bow, and she does good work. She comes on all the events. To her right, we have Lady Elariana Dragonheart. I hadn't butchered that. She is a guardian, healer, and seer. She's an adventurer of the Zingara Caravan.
Alrighty.
And she's the healer. She comes in to a lot of events, and she keeps us all patched up whenever we go into combat.
Okay.
To the right of her, it is Rian, the little one. She's kind of like the little sister of the guild. She is very small in height. She's around 4'7", and she stutters, and she's beginning to learn how to use her shield and such, but we just take care of her mostly.
Great.
To her right, we have Dakruk Skin Splitter, sidekick of the year to the Zingara. His name is Dick, and Daki. He's a more colorful member of the guild. He will come in wearing dresses and say that he's off to battle with his scimitars.
Okay. Alrighty.
To his right, we have Lupo, Lancian Lupo Riniar Velashin. I should get paid for saying that name. Nickname Lupo, Loop, or Loopy. He's a very elusive member. He stays kind of quiet and keeps to himself, but when he's needed, he'll come and do his work.
Alrighty.
All right. Next to him is the Orcish Mounted, Vicor Mawbreaker. He recently gained that name from ripping off Dakrik's jaw in a brawl, which, although not foreseen, did create a nice character development between the two.
Okay.
He's a rather large one.
Sure.
To his right, we have Bricard, the Bard. A newer member, but he completely speaks in rhyme. All of his emotes and sayings. Zal's a large fan of his because it gets her excited, and she always does care for the more colorful people of the Zingara.
Okay. Awesome.
And to his right is Hivy Mucklebones, the OCD apothecary fleshmender. She is a healer and also a collector of limbs. Whenever the caravan will go out on jobs, just little things, whenever like we have to kill, she'll go and collect body parts to keep for a later date. She has a knack for losing her arms.
Okay. Well, that is wonderful. It is great to meet everybody. And so, folks, when we come back, we will start to learn about this wonderful guild called the Zingara Caravan. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, and we are back. And so, Selena, Zingara Caravan, how did you come up with that name?
Well, I've been RPing Zal for quite some time, and I had spent a good solid year in one single guild. It was a noble house guild based out of Silvermoon. And those guilds tend to be a lot of fun and in taking away nothing from them, but they also tend to, as a noble house would, have a lot of rules and things to follow. And I was finding that Zal was constantly in trouble because she does tend to attract it. And, usually when I'm bored, something happens. So I was thinking about, how could I get some RP outside of the city? How can we utilize this great, big, beautiful world that we have? Because, you're just seeing these little RP hubs, what would make sense? And I just thought about a caravan. I mean, this was very random. There wasn't a lot of pre-plotting. I didn't wake up one day and go, well, I got to make a guild. I just thought, how can I do this, and get other people involved in it? And I was guildless at the time. I had kind of needed a little bit of a break from that. And I just thought of a caravan, so, okay, you think caravan, you think, okay, gypsies. And, I Googled, I confess, I Googled and I saw, alternate words for gypsy, and Zingara just kind of had an interesting kind of exotic tone to it, which was kind of what I wanted to go for. I wanted the essence and the freedom of a caravan that would allow the members to bring their own storylines, under a kind of a structured framework that would allow us to cooperatively role play, but it wouldn't necessarily limit the development of their own characters or storylines because of a bunch of rules that needed to be in place because of the nature of the guild itself. Does that make sense?
It certainly does, and that's a wonderful answer. And so, what kind of guild is it? Are you guys a heavy RP guild, medium, light?
And we're a heavy RP guild. That is our primary focus. Anytime, throughout the day and evening, you're going to find members online, role playing together. We also enjoy cooperative role play with many of the other guilds. Two that I would like to mention are the Black Mirage and also the Arrow Tusk tribe, who we've recently kind of allied with. So we will do group events with them. We will just seek them out at their individual camps, and just do some spontaneous random role play, because we're role playing these relationships that we are creating with them. So we're very, very open to role playing with other guilds. Also just, random role play. I tend to look for people that seem like that they're not engaged in anything, and just, kind of try to draw them in. Not necessarily, we don't heavy recruit. Fig does not heavy recruit.
Don't try.
What we do is we engage people and we see what they're about. We let them see what we're about. I often invite Ungilded Tunes to events multiple times, not to necessarily get them to join the caravan, but to participate in some role play. Guild activity is not for everyone, but they may be looking for just, something different for the evening than walking around the circle of Silver Moon, 50 times.
Sure.
You can only do it so long before, you start seeing that, oh, I'm bored. Well, there's no need to be bored. We have, opportunities, many planned scheduled events throughout the week. And then, like I said, opportunities just for random RP that is not necessarily driven by the city, structure.
Sure. Well, great. So, folks, when we come back, we'll find out a little bit about the Zingara Caravan's history. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, and we are back. And so, Zelena, what is your guys' storyline? What's your history to your guild?
Well, the guild is a year old. And, as I said, I had left a noble house, in character, not just out of character. And, Zhao was really kind of searching for something when she formed the caravan. And it allowed me to kind of reinvent her while she was reinventing herself. So she created this whole concept, and she just started going around and introducing herself as the Zingara, not a Zingara, the Zingara. And kind of putting on this performance of, I am this mystical woman, and I'm looking for lost souls who are trying to find their fortune. If you join with me, we'll find our fortunes together. And people bought it. It was great.
Oh, wonderful.
I mean, the first question, anytime anybody meets Zhao and she introduces herself, we take bets on it privately, is, well, what's a Zingara? And we make up various answers as we go, but she considers herself kind of a sister of fortune at this point. She's just going through the world trying to make her way and protect the people who've come to her that are kind of in similar situations, which is what I love about the guild, is the diversity that we're able to support as far as the character races and, like I said before, the storylines. So we started, with just a handful of people, and all through really direct role play and contact, we kind of grew from that. There was a time where I was offline for a while for a few different reasons, and when I came back, I decided to start fresh. So this is actually the second go around for the caravan, as far as structure and members. And like I said, we don't wake up every day and go looking for members. We bump into them, through our own adventures and through our own travels. And a lot of the membership really helps with that a lot too.
Okay, so how big is your guild? How many members do you have?
We have 50 individual accounts and 72 characters in the guild at present.
Okay, so you do allow alts then in your guild?
We do, yeah, we do. I'm very laid back as far as a GM is concerned. We have no attendance requirements for events. You don't have to. I've heard stories of guilds that require players to write out and submit their storylines, those kinds of things. And like I said, that's what I was trying to get away from. It's not my job. It's a hobby. It's a passion. I enjoy it. So I wanted as much freedom as we could have, and as long as the alt fits in the general theme, in regards to not being a conflict, a really heavy conflict within the caravan. Our one and only rule is that you do not attack another caravan member.
Okay.
If there's a conflict, then it goes to a brawl that's arranged by Zal, and then of course the winner. That's the definitive outcome, and the problem then is supposedly forgotten.
Okay, wonderful RP concept. So folks, when we come back, we'll find out again actually what it takes to get into the guild, who you talk to, and we'll get in more about how to get into the Zingara Caravan. So we'll get more into that when we come back. And we are back. And so we have Fidgets here. Now, sir, are you the recruitment officer for the guild then, basically?
I am.
Okay. And so I am a new person here on Warm Rest Accord on the Horde side, and I saw this interview and thought, you know what, the Zingara Caravan is for me. So how do I get to join the caravan? What do I have to do? Who do I talk to?
Out of character, you can come talk to any of the officers, and we'll talk to you and tell you about things and events that we might be having. We like to keep it natural. It's a very fluid process. We don't like to just have you come in and join and just let you sit. We try to make you feel like you're wanted, like you are part of the caravan. It's a big family, and that's what we try and prove. Our events are usually a good way to get into it. Either you can show up to the brawls and talk, or just see us in the street and go, hey, I heard about you, or just start character. We like roleplay because we're a role-playing guild. I know. It's very simple, and you can go in through there.
Okay.
Usually Zal or I can let you in.
So is there an age requirement that you have? Is there a restriction?
Really.
No age restriction?
No, really. Just it's more about the maturity. We have people ranging from 14 to 140.
Wow. Okay. Is there a level requirement?
We prefer you to be a little bit leveled. We're obviously not going to let in level 1s or level 2 alts. We prefer you to be serious about your character.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Now, is there a interview process? Do you have to go through an IC or an OOC interview?
Like I said, we're not gonna tie you down and just be like, on this date you must come to the meeting and you must pledge your allegiance to us. We want you to feel welcome and leave when you have to, but know that you're always welcome in the caravan.
All right, excellent. And so as far as guild size, are you guys looking to have a large guild like AIE, or are you going to try to keep it small and contained?
We're not looking to grow massive sizes. We've done that and it wasn't exactly for us. We like to keep people to feel like they're wanted, not that they're just a face or a number.
All right, well, excellent. And so, folks, when we come back, we'll talk about what happens when you have made it into the guild. And so we'll be right back with that. And we are back. And so, Zelina, I have made it into the guild. And so, what can I expect as far as rules are concerned? I know we talked a little bit about it, but what can I expect? What rules do I have to follow now that I'm in the caravan?
Well, I see, Lee, again, our biggest rule and concern is to keep down on any kind of conflict within the caravan. We look for our conflict outside of the caravan. So we're looking for tunes that, don't have a whole lot of prejudice toward the other races, really. They have to be kind of open and free-spirited, kind of like-minded, really looking for a family. So we tend to get lots of orphans and things like that kind of coming toward us. But again, if there is conflict, we have a system for resolving that. However, if you do attack another member, it's an automatic expulsion from the guild.
Oh, okay.
You're gone. So, we want them to actually role play this out in an intelligent way. So, if there's something that comes up that's serious, then we'll actually put an event around a brawl between the two characters, which allows for, additional RP, and for the most part should settle it in a way that the guild as a whole can move on.
Okay.
And the characters can move on. So, that I'm pretty strict about that. I mean, there would have to be some pretty extenuating circumstances. Now, if there are extenuating circumstances, the officers will meet with the character in question, or both characters in question, and kind of base the decision on what has occurred, what actually the conflict is.
Sure.
We really do want to keep an upbeat, feel to the guild. It needs to be fun. Now, we have our dramas and our darker moments, but there's a lot of lighthearted comedy that happens with this group.
Okay.
And that's where they kind of shine. So, like I said, they can have their conflicts, but they have to be manageable.
So what about OOC rules? Do you have any?
Well, we moderate our chat pretty well. Like I said, we have a lot of really creative, talented people, and I'm very, very fortunate to get to interact with them on a regular basis. They never fail to impress and surprise me with what they bring to our events and what they bring to just regular spontaneous RP. And for the most part, as Fig mentioned earlier, we're looking for a certain level of maturity that isn't necessarily based on age. If their goal is to have fun and be active in their guild and be engaged in RP and be included, they pretty much understand the parameters of behavior that's expected. We joke around and we laugh a lot, but there are lines there. We try to keep things, we don't like to talk a lot of politics, those kinds of things, you know what I mean?
Sure.
We try to keep that out. We come here to get away from those things, in my opinion. So, if something comes up in chat, that seems to be inappropriate, my reaction as a GM is, look, something shiny, and they all kind of know that means, all right, that's enough. Let's let it go.
Okay.
And like I said, all our members are very good and very cooperative, and we don't go out of our way to call them out or embarrass them. They'll get a whisper and just say, hey, if something is going off topic, then we just kind of say, hey, tone it down. And I've really very rarely had any pushback from that.
All right, excellent. And so, folks, when we come back, we'll talk about where I, as a new player, would be placed within the guild ranks. We'll discuss guild ranks a little bit and how you get promoted within those ranks. So we'll be right back with that. And we are back. And so I have made it in the guild. I know the rules. So how do actually, where am I placed within the ranks? What are those ranks? And how do I get to go up in those ranks? How do I get promoted?
Well, I don't really like a traditional ranking system, because in guilds that I was in before, all I saw were people kind of jockeying for position and kind of nagging officers and maybe, acting outside their character because they were so focused on getting a rank up and getting some in-game acknowledgement and looking at the rank as that acknowledgement. You know, that I dismissed that idea when I formed the caravan because as I said earlier, I wanted this idea of kind of free-form freedom, but with a structured storyline that would still bind the characters together under kind of a common goal. So what I did was I divided the characters up more based on the role that they would play within the caravan. So that they wouldn't be focused, they'd be focused more on the story and not on, well, how do I get that bump up? So someone who just comes into the guild, as Fig said, we are doing a little bit of a trial period just to make sure, that people are fitting in the guild, ICly and also, out of character. Are they happy? I want them to be happy. We want to be happy with and around them. Is it a character that works well with the others, when it comes down to it? Can they follow some general directions when we have a large scale event? Because we do host events that involve the server, where we're inviting everyone. So you're representing our guild at that time. Can you, perform when we need you to? So, which is still voluntary, by the way, but, we still want to make sure that it's working. So when you come in, you would be a patron, just kind of checking the guild out. We have a few people here and there that want to come in kind of more as a friend to the caravan, not necessarily move with the caravan. So we call them kind of a spectator, which is a rank below. So you can actually come in that regard. From there, we divide out into, again, what they would be doing. We have entertainers. We actually do have, like Bricard, who, the bard, his job is to kind of entertain. And, we have had and have characters who that's kind of their focus. So we wanted a place for them. Then we have the characters that kind of are just a little bit more general, and they're just kind of looking for adventure. They're trying to make some money. Maybe they're healers, and our chef. We have a few different chefs, actually. Keaton is one of them. Yopo is another, who take care of us. So we put them in the adventure category. It gives them, definitely an idea of what their expectation is. But again, it's still very free form. Then we have the rank of intrigue, which involves our rogues. The caravan does, do some mercenary work. We've done some information trading, over time. We've gotten involved with different cartels and other guilds, so you have to kind of have a way to get that information around. So most of our rogues go directly into intrigue.
Okay.
We have violence, which involves our brawlers. As I mentioned before, one of our big events is the Brawlers Ball. So any of the muscle or the sword arms would go into violence. And from there, we have the trusted. And again, those are officers. Those are people that I have, personal relationships with in-game, as well as a general respect and affection for outside of the game. They have been loyal to the guilds. They have helped out on numerous occasions, and I trust them with something that ultimately is my responsibility, and I do that with my whole heart. So they become trusted just through in-game actions and out of game maturity and respect for the other members. And then Figsit is my advisor. Fig and I ran into him in the Wyvern's Tail. He was ungilded, a goblin, and I was looking for a lot of diversity in the guild, and Nice Pose, that last name, I was like, what is that about? So I started, I started RPing with him, and here he was, this photographer taking pictures for a magazine. We won't mention which one. And she's like, hey, we could do this whole, thing about the caravan. And they just started talking. And actually, I think I sent Jinkies to talk with him. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might be responsible for that wonderful in-game relationship that they have. But, and he's fantastic. He's also our DM. We do DM'd combat adventure events. And again, these are mostly for the caravan, but we do also include, other characters and other guilds that we RP with on a regular basis. And He develops those himself and runs them, and it's really fantastic. And all ranks are open to participation in any of those events. We're very good about that. So.
Okay, and it sounds like you have
Yes,
someone
I'm
very
like,
excited about
I'm
that.
so sorry.
No, no, that's okay.
It's
Does
a family.
everybody know about your friend there?
Oh,
That's
this is
Bob.
Bob. Yeah, everybody knows Bob and Lily,
Yeah,
huh?
that's
Bob and
Bob. That's her
Lily.
children.
Those are my
Okay.
kids. Yeah.
Well,
They usually
wonderful.
lay in my lap while I'm online, so they're definitely a part of the game.
Oh, great. And it's always fun to include your family in the game with you as well. So wonderful. So folks, when we come back, we're going to talk with some of the people within the guild to find out what they enjoy about being in the Zingara Caravan. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And this is always one of my favorite parts of the interview, where we get to talk with the members within the guild to find out why they've chosen their prospective guilds to be in. Because as you know, and as you've seen throughout Turwinkle's adventures, every so often, and quite often actually, as we're going along, we're invited to several guilds out there. There's hundreds of guilds that you could be in. And so again, I like to find out why they've chosen the particular guild they're in. And so we have, first up here tonight, we have Sen with us, the trusted of the Zingara Caravan. He's a level 90 Blood Elf warrior. And so, sir, what made you choose to be within the Zingara Caravan, and why do you like it?
Good evening. I guess the biggest thing that got me into the Zingara Caravan is the really, really long history that Zal and Sin have, and he kind of just got brought into it, and probably the biggest thing that I enjoy about the Zingara Caravan is just the open RP to it. It's just fun, it's easy, and it's simple. There's no there's no overly complicated drama, there's no ridiculousness to it, and everyone just is there to have a good time, and that's what RP is about. Well, I kind of got into it like through a mixture of IC, well, all IC because that's how we do it, but I mainly got into it because of just the fun people that's in it, and I've stayed in it. I've been in it both times.
Okay.
And I just enjoy it.
Well, excellent. Excellent answer, sir. Thank you very much. Alrighty, folks, and up next is Nicholas, trusted of the Zingara Caravan, level 90 Blood Elf Rogue. And so, what do you enjoy about being in the Zingara Caravan?
Mostly, like, both as an in character and out of character perspective, it's a group of fun people. You never really know what to expect. It can go from a stuttering girl to a giant orc. Like, it's variety. And that's what this RP community lacks, is a lot of variety. And a lot of these people happen to be very good friends of mine that I've known for years upon years. And so I figured it would be a really great opportunity to indulge myself in something like this.
All right, wonderful answer. Thank you very much. All right, folks, up next is Vicor, Violence of Zingara Caravan. He's a level 55 Orc warrior and brand new to the guild, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And it's only been about a week, so what have you found that you enjoy about this guild so far?
So far, I just, like most have already said, the RP is really open. Anytime I can usually find one of the members around one of the cities to RP with, and as this is a new tune for me to play, I just enjoy being something different every now and then.
All right, well, excellent. Excellent answer, sir. Thank you very much.
No problem.
All right, folks, up next we have Lupo, adventurer of the Zingara Caravan, a level 90 Blood Elf monk. And so, sir, what do you enjoy about being in the Zingara Caravan?
That all the members put up with Lupo and his crazy flamboyantness.
Okay. And Seeley, sir, what do you enjoy about the guild?
A great diversity of people. They're fun to hang out with and just talk to, not be serious about.
All right, excellent. Excellent answer, sir. Thank you very much. Next up, and how do you pronounce the name?
Eloriana.
There you go, folks. Adventurer of the Zingara Caravan. She's a level 90 Blood Elf monk. And so, what do you enjoy about being in this wonderful guild?
Well, it's probably going to have to be the fact about the diversity. I know a lot of people have said that, but none of them have really touched on it. If you think about it, Horde is predominantly Blood Elf, but Zingara is one of the only guilds that I've seen that takes in anybody. They actually normally go out of their way to find like goblins or orcs or undead. Like Hyvie, it took forever for us to get her in. It took Jinkies begging her. But, I mean, they want the different people. They want the craziness. And on top of it, all of the out of character is just amazing because all these people are always there for you. Like, if you have an issue in real life, they're always there to talk to you. If something's wrong, the Lena will whisper you or Niklaus or someone, and they're always, like, trying to make sure you're in a good mood. Like, there's never a bad vibe in the guild.
Well, excellent. That is a great answer. Thank you very much. All right, folks. And we have the guild mistress herself, the leader of this fine group of folks, Zelina. And so Zelina, as you can see, generally you can always kind of get a vibe of how a guild's doing by its members. And from what we've heard tonight, the guild is definitely headed in the right direction, and they all seem to be following the vision that you've set for them. And really, that goes to your leadership and how well the guild's doing. And so ultimately it comes back to the head of the guild, and that would be you. And so I think you're doing an excellent job with these folks. And so for you, what do you enjoy about leading this guild?
Well, thank you for the compliment. You know, it is very nice to hear that, and it's very nice to hear from the members. And you know, we do check in with them regularly because we're together all the time. Again, as I said, they can RP independently as much as they want, but you'll find them congregating together frequently because they enjoy each other so much. They enjoy each other's stories. They enjoy each other's in-game personalities. They enjoy each other's out-of-game personalities and the people that they actually are. You know, it's a collective of creative, talented people of all ages, of all backgrounds. You know, it is as diverse out of character as it is in character, and I'm very proud of that. This is meant to be fun, and we work very hard in a way that we enjoy to make it fun for everyone. And you know, if it's not fun, why would you want to do it? Why would you want to be there? You know, so that's really our focus. And you know, I respect and appreciate each of them, you know, equally, and I love spending time with them. They never fail to amaze me. Like I said, they'll just we can take something that seems like such a small event and just create, you know, hours of RP around it for multiple characters, and that's talent. They're very talented people, and I'm very lucky to know them.
Well, that is a great answer, ma'am. Well, thank you very much. And
Thank you.
So, folks, when we come back, we're going to allow them to say a final word on this wonderful, wonderful guild. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Zelina, is there anything that you would like people to know about the guild that maybe we haven't covered here tonight?
Well, one of the things I was really hoping to talk about is our Brawlers Ball, which is an all-server, in-game, bare-fisted brawling match based on a role system that we host once a month. And we vary our locations. Again, we're trying to get out into the world and use the world and the different you know, canvases and backgrounds for role play. It is an open tournament. But, you know, I've been to these tournaments before, a few of them, you know, over the years. And it's great for the people that are competing in the tournament, but there wasn't an atmosphere created around it. So what I did when I started this event, and it's kind of my baby, you know, I wanted there to be this atmosphere of excitement. I wanted us to utilize as much of the in-game I don't even know how I want to say it, but I wanted to use the right framework, and I wanted to transport them to something that was special outside of their everyday. So if you think about going to a real, boxing tournament, what do you have there? So we have hostesses that come around with drinks, and we use the Tolbrad searchlights, to create this atmosphere that something's happening, something's going on. We do small scale in-game betting on the matches. We have a ringmaster who calls the matches, and often we have multiple rings, and the ringmasters engage in some comedy back and forth, some playful insulting back and forth about, the victors in their individual rings. We had a Pandaren giving, shoulder and neck massages. We had a tattoo artist who was doing in-game tattooing at the event. And the hostess's job is to go around and to engage all of the patrons in the RP, not just watching the matches, but making it an atmosphere of an event. We also give a gold purse for that ranges anywhere from 1,000 gold to 5,000 gold, depending on how busy we've been that month. They get the title of Zingara's champion, and then about a week after the event, we host a champions dinner for them. So the caravan will host the winner and their guild at another RP event after the win. So it opens all these avenues for additional RP. Prior to the match, if you are in the guild, we have training sessions. We do a security check of the location. We do hostess training where, Zal will create these potential scenarios for players, and the jealous wife, or some kind of thing, and then they get to role play out, well, how would you handle that, and at what point do you call for security, and how do you do that? And we have the chefs are prepping food for the events and those kinds of things. So there's a lot of busyness that goes on the week before that just creates all these opportunities for role play based around a whole guild event that really everyone is invited to. Our largest one that we actually had to have like 6 rings running, and I had brought in healers. We have a healing tent for injuries. We had a quote unquote doctor, in-game doctor, doing pre-fight physicals once, just to have, so the RP actually starts even an hour, 2 hours before the event and lasts well into the evening. It's kind of fun to watch. We had 50 fighters one night, and that was without spectators. That was amazing to me.
Well, that sounds fantastic, actually. I love the whole RP concept around it, and I love it's unique, and like you said, it really opens up the opportunity for different types of RP, and it sounds like just a great community RP event.
Thank you. We're going to do a new one, too. We're going to call it the Drunkard's Duel. And the Drunkard's Duel is going to involve drinking games, also in-game drinking games. No out-of-game drinking games, please. But and it'll also be based on a role system, and there'll be winners for that. And what we usually do is we test these events within the guild. We'll have a guild event and bring people in, and we'll run them a few times and work out any kinks. So by the time we actually get to an event that we're going to invite, the general population to, we're pretty streamlined. And beyond that, within the guild, like I said earlier, Fixit is a DM for us, and we'll run different adventures. And what's fun for the player is because we use a role system in those adventures as well, which I know a lot of players are familiar with, but it adds this mystery to what is going to happen to your character in any particular situation. You don't have complete control over it. It really is up to the dice. It's up to your role, and then you kind of react accordingly. So that creates a lot of really interesting opportunities for a character to develop, and for relationships to form between different characters that may have not had a lot of opportunity to interact prior. And that's a lot of fun. We do just straight up social events. We try to support the events of our fellow guilds as well. As a group, we'll go for a night out, and we'll go down to Club Tricks and hang out as a guild, supporting their event. We frequently get invited to story circles that the Aerotusk tribe is creating and working on, and we participate in that way. You know, so our calendar, you're going to see when you come in, there are events all the time. I recently approached Yopo, who is our Pandaren chef, and said, hey, you know what, we need to do more non-combat things as well. So why don't you work on cooking lessons, you know, for any character that would want to do that. And he is extremely entertaining and talented. You know, so time spent with him is always very enjoyable. So he could keep an audience for something like that. You know, we just want diversity in our events in the same way we want diversity in the guild. You have to have your points of high drama and struggle, but you have to have your comic relief too. And I think that's one of the things that, on the whole, I enjoy personally about all of the events is we're able to bring all of that together.
Well, great. So, folks, when we come back, we are going to give Turwinkle's going to give his final goodbye to this wonderful guild here tonight. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. Well, it has been a wonderful evening. As you can see, the sun has gone down, the stars are up, and we've had just a wonderful time with this great guild, the Zingara Caravan. Folks, I wish you could be here in between takes. These guys are just a lot of fun to be with, and we really want to thank everybody for their time here tonight. I know it's not an easy thing to do, answering all of Turwinkle's pestering questions. So again, thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to get to know about your wonderful guild here tonight.
Well, thank you very much. And, you know, if you see us out in the world, please engage us in RP. We will entertain you.
Well, again, I can attest to that, folks, very much so. I have had just a wonderful time here tonight. So with that, you guys, thank you again. And folks, we will see Turwinkle back in the hinterlands with his final thoughts on the Zingara Caravan. Alrighty, folks, well, we made it safe and sound back to the hinterlands. And boy, Turwinkle, that was a lot of fun tonight, wasn't it?
Affirmative.
You bet. We had a lot of fun with the Zingara Caravan, so let's give them a nice thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. And so, folks, if you like this episode, click that like button. If you'd like to comment on the Zingara Caravan or on any of our previous episodes, do so below. Let us know what we're doing right and let us know what we're doing wrong. And finally, if you'd like to subscribe, we'd love to have you. Just hit that subscription button and join us tonight. Well, Turwinkle, excellent job, sir, as always. And we will see you next time, Turwinkle.
It's been fun.
It has been fun. Bye-bye.